Thought 4. Approaching infinity. When I look at our society as a whole, I feel we are approaching infinity, or rather the bottleneck to infinity. In the way my mind came up with it, we have gathered too much information, and we need to organize it to take on more. But to break it down, everything is information, and living beings are just information with directives. We as humans deem ourselves the most intelligent beings on this planet, not only because we can store a lot of information, but because we have the ability to break out of the recursivity of other animals. But until the internet came around, we were limited by the amount of information we had access to, so besides basic collaboration, we fell back into the recursivity of survival of the fittest. But now that the internet has developed to the point that it has, people don't have to do what they have always done. They can go on the internet and find new things to do in different ways, to do them, thus breaking their karmic cycle. But when you break a karmic cycle, everything returns to chaos. Hence the depression and stress epidemic. All living beings have events that they will for sure take action against, but within the karmic cycle there's only so much you can do. But with the rapidly developing internet, and more people breaking out of the karmic cycle, more people are going to realize the ways to make the world a better place in a clean year-long sweep instead of a grand decade-long plan. I don't know where this thought will be in relation to my plans to fix the world, but if I who ponders infinity and other realities can think of a clean way to fix the planet, surely people who actually think about fixing this world all day have thought of clean ways too, and if they haven't, it is only a matter of time before they come across a stimuli that will make them see the path to the next phase of humanity. Which brings me to the reason I said we are approaching the bottleneck to infinity as opposed to infinity itself. Infinity is chaos and our karmic cycle is order. Chaos cannot exist within order, because as soon as you control chaos it becomes order. That means that the chaos we are experiencing is controlled chaos. But the people controlling the chaos are still in the previous karmic cycle, therefore, we cannot continue to approach infinity, because it cannot exist within the karmic cycle. At the bottleneck of infinity, we have to destroy the karmic cycle and create a new one, or our path to infinity will get destroyed, and we will get stuck in this karmic cycle. To be less cryptic, the karmic cycle we are in is capitalism, where money is the end-all be-all, and those who already have money have all the power. Within capitalism we work to live, and live to work, hence why I called it the karmic cycle. And all cycles start over, because that's their nature. Capitalism is bound to start over because it is based on a fake infinity, or a controlled chaos, if I'm keeping the metaphor going. The price of things should be directly tied to the ability to produce it compared to the demand for the product. But the capitalism system we have allows those with the most money to control how money moves. It would be fine if this was a video game, and the price of things never changed, and you always got paid the same for work. So if someone exploits an opportunity, it doesn't mess you up, it just means they got more than you, and if that bothers you, you can think of a way to use the exploit. If not, you can just continue your business. But the way our capitalism works, and because there is a lot of stuff to buy on the internet, the people at the top adjust the way money flows so they can have more. They call it inflation because it does waterfall down slightly, but the bigger the dam you build on the waterfall, the less water there is at the bottom. If we don't have a nuclear winter and don't have a super winter caused by global warming, I think big business will break down into publicly maintained services, and all the franchises would be replaced by mom and pop stores. Big businesses aren't good for anything but collecting money, but people are tired of living for money. Now that you can learn how to do anything immediately, more people will want to do actual stuff, not just make money. I think our current system will crumple under the weight of the 1%, and people will just pick up the slack locally, because they are less ignorant than the last time the economy crashed. They will rebuild local chains of production, and create their own currency, and everything will be priced based on supply and demand and future predictions for land, and anything else that may run out in the future. They would definitely stop using limited resources for power, because it's literally exhaustive to humans and the earth. Then, because the average human wouldn't be pressured to hold up the rest of the country, they would start chasing their own infanties and open stores with actual personality, and they would destroy the chain stores that are only there because someone had enough money to use other people to make more money. Then the people who wanted to have their own restaurant, but could only handle a franchise, would follow their original passion, so franchises would die off. Supermarkets would probably be run by the collective group/government. They wouldn't be for profit, they would just be a service, and the money that goes into it goes back into making the service better and paying the workers. Maybe all the profits after that can go straight into developing the city. We would work towards the automation of the things no one wants to do, and people will naturally want to work in their community with their skills. I honestly think things can change that smoothly if people stop thinking about money just long enough to realize the world will keep moving without it. But then again, just like the bottleneck of a river during a flood, if there isn't enough momentum to clear it, the bottleneck will clog, and the banks will be withered, and the river will have to build its depth again. In other words, if enough people don't realize they don't need money, and they don't mind growing some of their food and cooking for a lot of their meals, then the world would either get destroyed by people who don't see the whole picture, or the world will be dominated by someone who had the money and opportunity, and we slip further into dystopia.